Welcome everyone. This is the Indian Express of 10th September 2022 and I will explain this newspaper in 3 steps. First is why is the news, second one is what is the news, and third is what can be the future prospects of the news. So we see our first headline, he raised voice on Hathras victim. Will this be a crime? This is called by Supreme Court and Supreme Court has given bail to Mr. Kappan. So why is the news? Because there was a crime case in Hathras, Uttar Pradesh. Everyone knows that. If you don't know, then there was a rape case in Uttar Pradesh, and this journalist, whose name is Siddique Kappan, and other three, they raised voice for the victim, and they were arrested under UAPA, which is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Now, almost after 2 years, after he was arrested and booked under the UAPA by Uttar Pradesh police, which claimed that he was linked to Radical Popular Front of India. Now this person, this journalist, have been given bail by the Supreme Court, and the court wanted to know exactly what has been found against him. And court noted that the length of the custody has undergone. So now court is questioning the police, and the main news is Chief Justice of India have asked that every person has a right to free expression. So this statement is very important because Supreme Court statements are important. Every person has a right to free expression. He is trying to show that the Hathras victim needs justice, and he raises a common voice. Will this be a crime in the eyes of law? So this is the statement that is important. Now he has been given bail. We will see what will happen next. I'll see in the second page if some more important news is given. So this is also important. The bench said it was granting bail, and why bail was granted? Because the length of the custody has undergone by the appellant and peculiar facts and circumstances of the case. Because he has already passed 2 years, and without hearing a single day of his case, it directed that he be produced before the trial court concerned within 3 days, and trial court shall release him on bail on conditions it deems fit to ensure his presence and participation in the matter pending before it. So this is important because we see Supreme Court has given bail, and he is trying to make his court start the trial within 3 days and release him on bail. Now the bench asked Kappan also to deposit his passport with the investigating agencies before he get released from the bail. So the passport will be deposited, and he said he shall not misuse his liberty in any manner. So Supreme Court is talking about that after bail, when he will be free from the jail, he shall not misuse his freedom, his liberty in any manner, and nor shall he get in touch with any of the persons that were associated or connected with the controversy in question. So we see this has been given, and now if you don't know the case, this is the case. On October 5, they had decided to go to Hathras to incite riots. So this is from the opposite side, and what they are talking about, what is the accusation of the opposite team, is talking that he was funded with rupees 45,000 to create riots, and he claimed to be accredited to a newspaper. So they are talking that a newspaper agency gave 45,000 rupees to this person, to Kappan, to incite riots. But we have found that he was accredited to the official organization of PFI. Now they are linking the person to PFI, and he was there to incite riots. It's a little bit like what happened in Bombay in 1990. So this is the main accusation that accusation for this person. So now he have been given bail. We will see. It's you see, it's a massive news, but I have told you only the important part. Now this page do not contain more news. We will see in the economy page also this news in economy page, illegal loan apps. Now coming to next page, this is Uttar Pradesh page and nothing more important is given. Then comes also Uttar Pradesh page. Okay, this comes the express networks. Now Bilkis case remission. So for starters, Bilkis case occurred in Gujarat, right, 2002. So this was a murder and a gang rape case. Now what has occurred that the 11 convicts that were in the case were released. They were released and they were remitted, you can say. And what is remission? Remission is shortening the length of years that a person has to pass in prison. So if a person is giving lifetime imprisonment, he can only be given remission when he has completed at least 15 years or no, at least 14 years. So now these persons have had completed their 15 years and 4 months in jail, so that is why they were given remission. So what is next is that the victim, that is Bilkis Bano, now she has challenged this remission granted to the 11 convicts. So what is the news we see? So we see the headline that Supreme Court asked Gujarat to respond in 2 weeks. So this is the main news. Supreme Court on Friday gave Gujarat government 2 weeks to file its response, that why it have given remission and response to the petition that have challenged the remission of sentence granted to 11 convicts in the Bilkis Bano case from the Gujarat riots of 2002. So issuing notice to the state on a plea. So there was a plea also from Trinamool Congress MP whose name is Mahua Mudra, and also a bench of justices named Ajay Rastogi and B.V. Nagratna. They also asked the convicts who were allowed to be implicated in the matter to file their response in 2 weeks. So these convicts were also asked to file the response within 2 weeks. The council that is appearing for Gujarat and said that it would submit all details to the court. So nothing more important is here. If you don't know the case, this is the case that Bilkis was gang raped and her 3-year daughter Sahela was among 14 that were killed by the mob on 3rd of March 2022. And the district was Dahod district, Lamkheda Taluka, during the post-Godhra riots. So Bilkis was pregnant at that time. So this was the whole news. This was a whole, you can say, case. And we see that now one more important news is there. In the plea, Ali and the 2 other petitioners have said that the case was investigated by CBI. And accordingly, the grant of remission is solely by the competent authority of a state government, or you can say state of Gujarat. So they are saying that their grant is by the state of Gujarat and there was no consultation with the central government, and this is impermissible. He's talking that only state government have given this remission. There's no consultation with central government, and this thing is impermissible in terms of the mandate of section 435 of CRPC 1973. So you see, this is the news, and we will see within 2 weeks these convicts as well as Gujarat government will respond. So this news will obviously come. Now there is a news which is by Draupadi Murmu, and she's talking about tuberculosis, which is the most fatal among infectious diseases, and its eradication is a duty of all. So she is talking about Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan that is being launched. So you know that there was a polio Mukt Bharat Abhiyan that was launched, and now our country is exactly what it was, you can say, calculated, or you can say what was expected. It is now polio free. So the next step is to get our country tuberculosis free, to speed up the country's fight against TB and achieve the target set by Prime Minister of eliminating this disease by 2025. So this is the year that is being targeted. Our President Draupadi Murmu, she has launched the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan on Friday. Now under this program, the patients will be provided food baskets. So what will be the support? We see they will be provided food baskets, support for additional diagnostic, and also vocational training to family members by the community. So they will provide a food basket. If they want to be diagnosed, they will be supported in terms of finance, and also one vocational training, which is a training that they can get employed to the family members by community. Now at the virtual event, the President said that this is a Jan Andolan, and it's a duty of all countrymen. As compared to any other infection, TB kills the most number of people in India, and we see that millions of people get died every year due to TB. It has also been seen that disease mainly affects the poor section. This is also true. This is the reason why Pradhan Mantri Modi had set the target of eliminating TB soon. Now, what can make this TB eradication a success? First is the government initiative, and second is the people's participation. Both of this together can make this eradication a success. When people connect with an abhiyan, the probability of success goes up. Truly said, you can see the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan as well as Polio Mukt Abhiyan. When people come together in order to get rid of something, they achieve this. And she appreciated the work of Union Health Minister, who is Mansukh Mandaviya, and his team, along with the state minister and local officials. Also reciting about COVID-19, she said, India set an example for the world during COVID-19 with tireless efforts of the healthcare workers, community leaders, and citizens, and she emphasized the need to adopt the similar whole of society approach to eliminate TB. So she is talking about the effort that were given by whole of the community. First by the health workers, second by the community leaders, third by the citizens. And she is talking that this needs to be done again in order to eliminate TB. Nikshay portal, which can be used by individuals, can be used by NGOs, and also by the corporates to adopt TB patients. This was also launched on Friday. What this portal will do, this portal will also have a real-time tracker of the number of people who get adopted. So you see, what is the meaning of adopted here? This is to support the TB patients financially as well as mentally also. So Mandaviya, who has also pledged to become a Nikshay Mitra and support TB patients from his hometown. So the minister himself has talked to become a Nikshay Mitra, and is talking about supporting a TB patient from his own hometown. He said, over the last 2 years, there have been many hindrances because of COVID-19, and that cannot be ignored. But in the increasing pace of work, we can eliminate TB by 2025. So he's having, you can say, a positive approach in order to eliminate the TB by 2025. And he said, I will become a Nikshay Mitra. You become one too. Adopt the patients, help them with food and vocation, give them love and strength. So Nikshay is not just about giving financial assistance. It's about adopting the patients, helping them with food, vocation, giving them love and strength so that they can recover and live a normal life. So this is, I can say, very good humanitarian approach in order to help the patients. He attributed success of the TB program on key indicators. And what are these key indicators? First, TB case notifications. Second, consistent effort that led to monthly notification reporting to reach the pre-pandemic levels by the end of 2021. So first is you notify, you give information about the TB case. First is this, and second is you do constant effort in order that the monthly notification, this monthly news about the TB patients reporting about this cases of TB reach the pre-pandemic level. So whatever the reporting was done in the pre-pandemic level, it should be now done in 2020 in after this segment, of course, highlighting the importance of a patient-centric healthcare system. Mandavia lauded the contribution of supportive schemes such as Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So we see this first time that this is a patient-centric healthcare system. We have read about student-centric education system most of the time, but this is the first time patient-centric healthcare system, and he lauded that what helps this kind of system is the schemes such as this Nikshay Poshan Yojana. And what is this Yojana? This provides rupees 500 support to the direct benefit transfer to the patients. What has been done till now? Over 65 lakh persons have received total support of worth rupees 1700 crore under this program since it was launched in 2018. Now this is according to Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan. Now the Health Secretary Mr. Rajesh Bhushan has said that over 1.22 lakh health and wellness centers have been operationalized across the country and service to cure TB are being offered by them. So you see, primary healthcare centers are, you can say, the first step that people of village and the town take in order to get them and their family cured. So at least over 1.22 lakh health and wellness care centers have been operationalized in order to cure the TB. And there is a service also to cure TB. The government has focused on utilizing technology and started creating digital IDs for TB patients. So this digital health IDs, we see this was into 2021 that these digital IDs were launched, and this were launched under Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission. So this digital health ID for TB patients actually helps. It keeps track, it keeps record of the previous cure, or you can say the previous history of the TB patients. So it kept record of, you can say, the previous history of the person who is looking for the cure of TB, and also some other health problems also. And this digital health ID is being created in order to ensure that proper diagnostic and treatment are available to them. So we see this is a new scheme. You must remember that Nikshay portal is important here, and also the year 2025 is important. So we will see more of schemes coming in order to secure and serve this Abhiyan of Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. We'll see more of it in coming days. Next come the explain page. This is about after the Queen's passing, Charles III is the King of Great Britain. Here's what will happen now. So you see, first I will check it. Okay. So you see, now queen is no more, but this obsession about the upcoming future and also the royal family, this obsession is not that good. You just have to remember that Charles III will be king of Great Britain, Camilla will be the queen, nothing else, and Liz Truss is the prime minister. Nothing else is more important, and it will not fetch you marks in your exam if you are more and more and over interested in this royal family. So we see this king's Charles III will be the king and Liz Truss is the prime minister. There is a Buckingham Palace that will take the proclamation of King Charles, and it will take place at the historic Accession Council in London. So nothing else is more important. If you are more interested where the Queen burial will take place, it will take place somewhere. So as Charles becomes the king, will his wife, which is Camilla, be the queen? So this is no. Okay, so we were wrong. King Charles' wife Camilla will be known as a queen consort. A queen consort is a woman who is married to reigning monarch. The title of queen is reserved only for female rulers who become the monarch through a line of succession. So we got that she will be a queen consort. Okay. So who is next? We will see when next will come. So this more obsession with royal family will not obviously fetch you marks in your exam. So if instead if you want to read, you can read it, but I see no interest in this. Now next comes the government and politics, and government imposes ban on export of broken rice. So we see rice is the most you can say exported food item, food grain that is exported from India. Now there is an abnormal increase in approach. So that is why this export of broken rice have been kept to halt. The Union government Friday banned the export of broken rice by flagging an increase in price and also a shortage in supply for domestic requirements, and significantly an abnormal increase in exports. So that is why this has been, we see this is not a normal increase of export, this is absolutely abnormal. So this is why these rice have been banned from being exported. Now we see the ban will come into effect from September 9, which was yesterday. However, relaxation have been given to 3 categories where consignment of broken rice will be allowed between September 9 and 15. So this was all. We see the share of broken rice in the total rice exports. It has increased. So how much increase is there? 22.78% from 1.34%. So this is a massive increase. We see from 1.34 to 22.78%, and this is the reason why government have banned the export of this rice. Now this came even as China emerged as a major buyer of broken rice. So this is also important. China is a major buyer. Food Secretary said that this increase in export is not normal. So that is why they have kept this ban on export. Now there is also political news, more of it. Next comes the world news. King's speech begins new era. This is more of this royal family. So we see King III in his first address to the nation as a sovereign, he made his intentions clear that he will carry on his mother's legacy while honoring her service, telling the nation in a televised speech, our values have remained and must remain constant. So we will see. So this is also not that important. So now this is being written that King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla, they're now walking into Buckingham Palace. So okay, not much news is given. There is a talk about what he will do, what he will not do. Outspoken as Prince Charles, the king may have to bite. These are all, you can say, expectations from him. We as a citizen of India must only know that he is now the king. Queen consort is Camilla, and nothing more is more important. We'll say the relations, how the relations are going between India and UK. That is more important to us. Now talking about economy page, illegal loan apps. Finance Minister have ordered actions and RBI will make a whitelist. So you see illegal lending apps, you may have seen a lot of advertisement in internet about some apps that tend to give you loan, instant loan. Now a lot of suicide cases have come when these loan apps have threatened, or you can say blackmailed, the person to repay that loan. And they have talked, there's a talk of lot of loss for the person who have taken loan. In fact, it is being told that they hack your phone, your app, and then they blackmail you, and they blackmail to send your distorted picture to your contacts also, so that they can blackmail you. So I've seen this. There's a photo of the person, and down below it's written that this person is a thief, or in Hindi it's written that this person is a chore. So this kind of photo is sent to the contacts of this loan taker. So this has created a lot of, you can say, problems in the economy. So that is why Finance Minister is now talking about this, noting concerns on increasing instances of money laundering and also tax evasion and criminal intimidation by illegal loan apps. So these three things are there. This first is money laundering. We have seen a lot of cases in 2021 as well as 2022 about money laundering. Tax evasion, this have occurred since the day I can remember. Like since this tax system was launched, many people have led to this evasion of tax, which is their first and foremost duty. If you live in this country, you have to pay taxes. You enjoy the roads, you enjoy the airport, you enjoy the railways, and then you do not pay taxes which the government is providing you. So this is a crime case. And also talking about crime, this is a criminal intimidation also by illegal loan apps, and this is especially for the low income persons. For taking this step, the government has asked the RBI to prepare a white list of legal digital lending apps to be permitted in the app stores. So those who have not been involved in such a crime will be given a white list, a tag of being good in the market. So RBI will monitor money laundering through the mule and rented account, take proactive actions in cancelling dormant non-banking financial company licenses, and remove unregistered payment aggregators within the time frame. So for money laundering cases, what will be done? First, NBFCs will be cancelled. Non-banking financial company licenses, this will be cancelled. And also, there will be removal of unregistered payment aggregators. Decision was taken in a meeting that was chaired by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, which discussed various issues such as related to illegal loan apps. There have been rising instances of fraud. I've already told you about this, by digital lending apps. So these digital lending apps are not registered with the central bank and they operate on their own. The Finance Minister expressed concern on increasing instances of illegal loan apps that offers loan microcredits, especially to vulnerable and low income groups. So we have seen the advertisement that get instant cash of 50,000, get instant cash of 10,000. They are especially targeted to vulnerable and low income group. You see, if a person is taking a loan of 10,000, 50,000, obviously he is vulnerable and also from low income group. Now these people at exorbitantly high interest rate, and you see, and also some hidden charges are also there. So that is why it seems easy, but the dragon of this loan app is behind the curtain. And also there's predatory recovery practices that involves blackmailing and criminal intimidation. So I've already told you about the photo that is being sent to the contacts. This is the one case, and now many a kind of intimidation and blackmailing is being done. She also noted that possibility of a money laundering, tax evasion, privacy of data, breach of this data privacy, and also misuse of unregulated payment aggregators, shell companies, defunct NBFCs. All of this are perpetrating such illegal actions. It was also decided in the meeting that central bank will ensure registration of payment aggregators within a time frame, within a time limit. There will be a registration of payment aggregators, and no unregistered payment aggregators will be allowed to function after that. So you register yourself, otherwise you will not be allowed to function. Corporate Affairs Ministry, this ministry will identify shell companies and will deregister them to prevent their misuse. So these shell companies will be deregistered and will not run in the country. All ministries and agencies have been directed to take all possible actions to prevent operations of such apps. So very harsh steps would be taken. So we see that the government is this time very strict, and steps will be taken to increase cyber awareness for customers, for bank employees, for law enforcement agencies, and for other stakeholders. And we see the cyber awareness must be given for citizens also. The meeting was attended by the secretaries in the finance and also in secretaries of electronics and IT ministry, and also RBI deputy governor. Last Saturday, ED raided several premises of Bangalore. Now, what were the raid locations? This was Razorpay, cash free payments, Paytm payment services, and also entities that was controlled and operated by Chinese individuals. So you see, a lot of Chinese loan apps are there, and they work with a, you can say, strategy. They hire Indian people and then behave like they are Indian company, but actually they are Chinese company, because you cannot, people mostly do not trust to take loan from foreign. They can trust an Indian company. This is the main, you can say, mentality of people. The crackdown which is coming in the wake of complaints against Chinese loans apps were carried out, and they were carried out under the provisions of PMLA, which is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. What ED is probing cases of non-banking, no, this is not non-banking financial assets, this is NBFCs. So this is NBFCs, which is non-banking financial companies. There's also non-banking financial assets too. So this is non-banking financial companies that are allegedly indulged in predatory lending practices. So what is this predatory lending practices? You know what is predator? The one who runs you and then catches you. This is what you see in the animal jungle. So this is a predatory. You get in, you say, the loan trap, which is you get in the debt trap or loan trap, and then the prey will catch you. This is the strategy of predatory lending practices, and it is in violation of the RBI guidelines. You cannot do this. It's not legal. As per the agency, after it began its probe, many of the companies shut shop and it diverted funds to fintech companies in order to buy crypto assets, which were then laundered abroad. So when this strictness started by the government, companies have shut their shops and all these funds now are being directed to crypto assets. Now these crypto assets are laundered from abroad. So in this connection, the ED has searched premises associated with crypto exchange, which is a WazirX. May have seen also the advertisement of WazirX, and has frozen 64 crore in its account. What Search revealed? Search revealed that some entities that controlled this were operated by Chinese individuals and have been using forged documents of Indians to appoint them dummy directors of those entities. So I've told you already, this is the strategy. They forge documents of Indians and they appoint them as dummy directors of those entities and are operated by Chinese individuals. So they are working behind the curtain. Work with the face of Indians and get the money from India. This is, you can call, is the strategy. Now ED believes that these entities are generating proceeds of crime, and ED has concluded that these entities were conducting illegal, or you can say suspected, business through various merchant IDs and the accounts held either with payment gateways or even banks. So these were illegal business. They were working through various merchant IDs, or you can call accounts, and they were held either with payment gateways or even banks. This was the fraud that was being done, and we see a strict awareness from now our finance ministry. We hope that this thing goes off, because a lot of problems have been created by these loan apps. People are made fooled in their face, and then they are trapped in the debt trap. There is also a loss of morale also when someone do suicide in the family because of those loans, and also have suffered from financial crisis. People feel bad, and who to blame? Only these apps that have done that illegal work. So we see that this meeting was chaired by finance minister, and work will be done soon. So now this comes an end to the newspaper. We have seen that this newspaper was because 2 pages were totally of the royal family. First the word, and the second the explained page. So that is why this paper seems short, and you can read this newspaper as well.